disaster must come. At best, only postponed. Shaolin Kung Fu, to survive, must now be taught to more young men.
Welcome once again to another episode of Fists, Kicks, and Flicks, the podcast about martial arts, movies, and life. I am one of your hosts, Eugene Plowden, and with me as always, my podcast partners, Joe Hartley, Angel Diaz. What's up, fellas?
Cowabunga!
What's up, man?
What's going on?
If this is your first time with us, I want you to know we are members of the Martial Arts Center Network. On Tuesdays, you have CTE with Chris, Los, and Travis. On Wednesdays, it's us, Fists, Kicks, and Flicks with Gene, Mike, Joe, and Angel. On Thursdays, you can get the Inside Scoop with Alex and Jeff. For more information, you can check us out on all of our martial arts. Oh, I'm sorry, on all of our. I messed up my intro. For more information, you can check us out on all of our social media platforms. Just look for the Martial Arts Center Network on Facebook, Twitter, Instagram, and YouTube. Fellas, it's showtime. It's going to be one of those nights.
Yeah.
Sounds good, man. Let's do it.
All right. So how was your weekend?
You know what? I had a bit of an extended weekend. I got my second COVID shot, and just in case I had any adverse effects, I took a few days off. So, yeah, I'm relaxed. No big deal, and I'm doing good.
Did you have any type of reactions to it?
Very, very little. Some achy bones, a little bit of a headache, nothing too crazy.
Okay. How was your weekend, Angel?
My weekend was good. It was just tiring, man. I had a tiring weekend. So I've been like on pins and needles because my brother is gonna have his first baby. So she was supposed to be due.
Congratulations, Uncle Angel.
She was gonna be due on it's gonna be Uncle El Kukui. She was gonna be due on Saturday, and we went the whole day. I ended up having a sparring session on Saturday, so I was in like almost near Massachusetts. So I told him, I said, text me, call me if something goes down. I'll hurry up and rush back. And I never got a text or call. Sunday I had softball. I'm playing out in Hartford, which is close to Massachusetts again. I told him the same thing. Text me, call me. Got nothing. Last night I did some rounds. I was like, man, imagine she has a baby while I'm doing rounds. Like this was something. I finished my rounds out. But yeah, man. I'm just tired, man. I've been working hard. We got Battle of Atlanta coming up, so I'm just trying to train. But besides that, man, it's a good weekend. I'm hoping my little nephew, he's smart. He comes on a day that I'm not busy. That's what I hope.
All right.
Don't always work out like that.
Yeah, that's what I was gonna say. All right, my weekend was pretty chill. Also, man, I just pretty much just hung out around the house. I did also get my second COVID shot also on Friday. So, and I didn't have any plans for the weekend, so I just chilled out at the house. But I did not have any type of reactions at all to it. I had the Pfizer vaccine.
Okay, cool. I had Moderna.
Okay. Well, okay. Oh wow, I'm really surprised you didn't have any type of reactions to that, because just about everybody that I've talked to who've had Moderna has said there was some type of small little reaction to it.
I can tell you, man, that shit sucked.
I only thing that really happened to me, like my arm was sore, but my arm was more sore the first time with the first shot than it was the second shot.
My arm was real sore with both.
Listen, the second one, I think after the second one, I would have much rather had COVID. I thought I was gonna die, and that weekend that I got the shot, it was just a lot going on that weekend, so I had to have a talk with my body and tell my body, you will not fuck this up for me. You will act accordingly. But yeah, man, I remember I woke up the next day and I had to go to work and I never took it off and I was dying at work. It was tough. That was a day that I was teaching the kids and I ended up just throwing on a movie. I was like, we're watching a movie today, guys. We ain't doing that.
What grade do you teach again?
I teach high school.
High school. Oh wow.
Yeah.
Well, that has to be interesting. Like they got to think that you're a student also when you walk in there. Like the kids.
I'm gonna tell you something, man. This is gonna be embarrassing to say. I got a detention once before.
As a teacher?
Someone handed me a detention because I told them I'm the teacher in the classroom. This is someone in the staff meetings, and they said, "No, you're not." And they said, "Don't you dare talk back to me." And I'm looking, and I'm like, "Yo, like, what are you talking about?" And I showed them my badge, and they said, "Where'd you get that made?" What are you talking about? Like, so she goes, "You have a detention." They brought me down to the office. They tried to tell me to sit down. I said, "I'm not sitting in a chair." They did.
Wow.
I went, knocked on the principal's door. I said, "What's up, Dan?" He goes, "Angel." He said, "What the hell are you doing here?" And I looked at him and I said, "Suppose we have a detention." He looked at her. He said, "He works here," and she put it like this. He looked at me. He said, "Get the hell out of my office."
That was great.
Because he probably thought me being young, I'm trying to play a joke on him. I was like serious. I was like, nah. When I teach, man, the kids, they know. I have a good respect for them, and they understand me. I do. On Fridays is when I look like a student, because on Fridays I don't wear like a button up and all that. I wear like Jordans, and that's like a dress down for me. So. Yeah.
You should go there in your gi one day. See what happens.
Oh no, they all know I fight, so they try to say, "If we do our work, can we watch one of your fights?" I'm like, absolutely not.
Listen. I went to my son's school in third grade, and I read a book, and I showed up in my gi and my belt, and you should have seen these kids looking at me like, "Who is he? What's going on? What's he gonna do?" It was great. It was hilarious.
In that moment, yo, just because you have the look, I would have said I'm the Beverly Hills Ninja.
Listen. I've claimed that title before. Okay, I tell people all the time, I am the Great White Ninja.
I would have sold it. I would have sold it right there. I would have said
the teachers might have been the only ones to understand that reference.
No, if the teachers that say, "No, I'm Asian," that's what you gotta say. You'd be like, "Have you not heard of this?"
Oh yeah, it's great.
Wait a minute. Hey, there's a lot to unpack here. Wait a minute. So were the kids upset, Joe, when you did not do any type of karate? You just came in and read them a story?
Well,
I would be like, what the hell?
Listen, the story that I picked was it's actually the Three Ninja Pigs. So it was actually a ninja karate type of story. It was the three little pigs redone, as them being ninjas and everything. And it was a really good story. And then I actually went in, it was my Kids Kicking Cancer outfit. And then at the beginning and at the end, we taught the whole class power breathing, and the teacher loved me for it.
Okay.
Because she's like, oh my, the kids were all engaged and they were all doing it with us. And so she wanted me to teach her so she could do it when the kids got out of hand. It was really cool. It was a cool experience.
That's sweet. That's know what? Angel, when you said that you had detention as an adult, that made me think of me being in high school also. I only had detention one time, and it wasn't even my fault. I can't remember which grade I was in. I was in high school, so it was either 10th or 11th grade, and the bell rung, and we were outside of the classroom, and we had a hall sweep. You know what a hall sweep is? Either one of you guys? Okay, just making sure. I didn't know if they had hall sweeps in the burbs. I didn't know. I didn't know it. Anyway.
I'm sure we called it something different, but I got the premise.
Oh, man. Okay. So we have this hall sweep. Now, we don't have a teacher. Our teacher was absent. So they sent the whole class to detention just because we were out in the hall. So it was like only a one-day thing. But I was like, this is ridiculous. Like, well, I got to stay after school because my teacher wasn't here. That was. I wonder how the sub felt when he showed up and no class was here.
Harry, so I'm gonna tell you how he felt. I can tell you. He said, "I'm gonna stay quiet, and I'm gonna sit back. I'm gonna throw on some radio. I'm gonna watch some TV. I'm gonna relax. I'm gonna go.
Yeah, you know what? He probably didn't say anything. He probably went in the classroom, closed the door, pulled the shade down, took a nap.
He getting paid either way.
I know all the tricks. Remember, I know all the tricks.
All right, let's get into this movie. So we're going to talk about Teenage Mutant Ninja Turtles, the very, very first Turtles movie from 1990. To me, this is my favorite out of all of the Turtle movies. I think they have about 5 of them now?
Well, you're talking about old school or new school?
I'm talking about both combined. Like, they had 3 older ones, and I know they had 2 newer ones.
So actually, no one knows this. They actually have 4 older ones.
I don't know that. Okay.
I've never seen it. My brother actually saw it, and he told me about it. The 4th one only came out in Europe. It never came out in the U.S.
What's it called?
How I don't even know how he got it. I have no idea. My brother gets like karate movies from like the black market. I don't know how he does it. But he told me about it. He said, "Have you ever seen the 4th one?" I'm like, "There ain't no 4th one." He's like, "No, there's a 4th one." I'm like, "No." He's like, "It only came out in Europe." I was like,
I want to see it.
But he said it's in English or something. I was like, "What the hell?" So I was like, all right, if I find it, Joe, I know he probably has it. I'll definitely shoot it over to you. So
Yeah, definitely.
there's 4 old ones and then the 2 new ones.
Okay.
And then they had like the TV show when the girl was in it.
Yeah, they did that. I think they did. Did they do that after they teamed up with the Power Rangers? Because that was.
That's when they watered down. They got watered down.
Oh yeah, big time with that. Teaming up. I mean, you would think in a perfect world, the Ninja Turtles and the Power Rangers together, especially that time in the '90s, should have been huge. But I don't even remember them coming together and doing any type of thing. I was older when I found out about it.
I feel like there's such 2 different styles. Like, why would you even do it?
Yeah, that's really weird to me.
They're like yes, it's karate, but it's like 2 completely like different like ways of doing it. Like, why even mix them in? I don't know. That's just me.
Did you guys ever see any of that? Like any picture or preview of that?
Yeah,
I don't think so.
They used the worst costumes for the Turtles, Joe. It was like the birthday party costumes.
Oh yeah, I've seen stuff like that. It's terrible.
Yes, that's the Turtles that they used when they had the Power Ranger crossover. I was looking at that like, oh, this is ridiculous.
Gene, did you when this originally came out? Did you see it in theaters?
Yeah, and my uncle took me. He took me and Trav to go see the Turtles.
I joined karate 2 weeks later. I did. It was great.
A funny story. So, my when I say this to you, I'm gonna tell you what happened with my brother, and then I'll tell you later what I did one time. So when Teenage Mutant Ninja Turtles came out, remember my brother, he's older than me, so he's around like your guys' age. So he came out when it was hot, and he was just like a kid at the time. So in our state, they had like the Teenage Mutant Ninja Turtle costume when it was first coming out, and he was at Burger King. Like they had like a Burger King signing or whatever.
Oh, okay.
My brother just got out of karate class. My dad takes him to go and get some food, and they just so happened to be the Ninja Turtles there. My dad didn't know. Next thing he knows, security has my brother in a corner or something. So my dad says, "What happened?" My brother went up to the Ninja Turtle and got in a front stance and said, "What's your style?"
That's pretty good. I like that.
He said he saw it, but he didn't believe it. The Ninja Turtle couldn't talk, so he's like, my brother went up and kicked him in the nuts. And picked him up and was like, he can't be here. And ever since then, my brother loves the Ninja Turtles. He kicked the turtle that he likes the most. He kicked Raphael.
Perfect.
He loves Raph, but he kicked him, right? And he went up to him and said, "What's your smile?"
Well, I mean, Raph didn't respond to him. I guess your brother felt disrespected, and he was like, "You know what? All right, you're not the real Raph, so I gotta take it out on you."
That's what he said. I guess he said it to my dad. He's not even a real Ninja Turtle. He didn't do anything.
All right, let's get into the movie. So like I said, this is my favorite out of all of the Ninja Turtle movies. It seemed like when they did the second one, Secret of the Ooze, and the third one, it seemed like they were trying to get a little bit too silly with it.
With the first one, I don't know if I said this to you guys last week. The first one was geared towards more of an adult audience. It wasn't towards kids. You guys, as we talk about it, it took a dark turn. Like it was geared towards a darker audience. If you notice, the Ninja Turtles and Secret of the Ooze, they made them brighter. They looked.
Yeah, I do remember that actually.
The first one, they were really dark. She looked way meaner in the first one than he did in the second one when he had Super Shredder. When they had Super Shredder, it barely even showed him.
Yeah.
So for the first one, it was geared more towards adults. Actually, it wasn't even really geared towards kids. That's
I believe that too, man. Because you know, when the turtles showed up, okay, let's jump into it. At the beginning of the movie, we hear April O'Neil talking about the crime wave that's going on in New York, and you know, she's an investigative reporter, and she has heard about these rumors about a ninja group called the Foot Clan. She's been trying to pressure the police to look into it. They're just kind of brushing her off. So she's on the TV talking about it. Now, during this time when she's discussing the events that's going on in New York, we kind of see a montage and we see all of these young teenage boys stealing and robbing, pickpocketing people, and they're giving whatever they take to we see the Foot Clan. They'll show up and they'll take the items once they've been stolen, right? And April leaves the news station and she's on her way to her van when her van is being robbed, and they're about to get her next. And that's when the turtles show up. They show up, they knock the lights out, they beat up the guys, right?
Yep.
And so I was sitting there, I thought that was cool. So I just couldn't wait to see the turtles. But then when the lights kind of came back on and we see Raphael taking a look, he's watching, you know, everything. He realized that he lost his sai in the fight. When he saw April grab the sai and put it in her purse and he said, damn, that's when I knew, okay. Because the turtles don't cuss. They don't say anything. They keep it clean. And this is Raphael. And Raphael, all of the other turtles are pretty similar in the movie to the cartoon, except Raphael. Raphael, he was, you know, jokey and playing, and, you know, he always had a quick comeback in the cartoon. Yeah. And his character was not like that in the movie. And it kind of threw me off when I first saw that, because I was like, why are they writing Raphael like this? He's not like this. Until I found out later on, since I'm a comic book person, that's how he was in the comic books.
Yeah, so the cartoon never portrayed Raph the way he was. He's always been a hothead. He's always been, you know, the first one to get in a fight, all that stuff.
Yeah, so it's funny, right? Because that happened in this one. Then we know in the second and the third one, it was definitely geared towards the kid audience. But when the new ones came out, they let like the cursing kind of go, and they'll say like ass and damn and whatever else. Like it was actually, I don't know. I kind of like when they do that with older series, and when they bring it out now, they kind of they'll like make it like PG-13 or like Mortal Kombat. I didn't want to see it if it was gonna be PG or PG-13. Let it be rated R. Let me see all the fatalities and all that stuff. So I kind of like that. But yeah, definitely. In the beginning, he definitely. You could tell the kind of influence Raph was going to have in the movie.
And then after that, we see the turtles. They're celebrating because that was their first time fighting people. So they're in the sewer. They're dancing around, happy, you know, giving each other high fives. At least Leonardo, Donatello, and Michelangelo, and Raphael is behind them, and he is still upset about his side that he lost. They go in and talk to Splinter. You know, the whole thing about Splinter and the Turtles, I just don't understand why the members of the Foot Clan weren't scared of them.
I agree.
They didn't really know about them.
I don't give a. To me, that was a monster. that was a monster. You mean to tell me, Angel, if you're walking around somewhere and you see one of those things pop out, you're not gonna freak out?
Think about it, because April had the proper reaction.
Yes,
like she freaked out when she thought she was a dream. That is the proper reaction. You're right.
Yeah, you're right. But again, I'll be scared. But like I told y'all before, man, you mess with me, it's a problem. Like I'm not just gonna sit there. I don't care if you got a side. I will pull out a pipe and we're gonna rock. I'll be, you know what? I'm not gonna ruin it. Go ahead.
I don't believe you, Angel. I don't believe you. I know. I don't believe you. I'm only gonna say this because I'm gonna say this only because I swear, if you saw a 4-foot rat, you would be cool. You would be.
Man, I've been in New York. I've seen some big ass rats.
Angel gonna be like, you don't know who you're messing with. I'm El Kakui. Let's go.
Like,
Man,
some big ass rats, Gene. Are you serious?
I'm 100% serious. I don't even deal with a big ass dog, so I don't even. I'll be damned if I'm about to hang around. And I see a big ass rat and he's talking. Get the fuck out of here! I'm out. I would have took that ninja shit off so fast. I would have went home in my drawers. I was like, "Fuck you, Shredder. I'm done." For real. Well, I know I jumped off topic, but still, my bad. My bad. I'm just saying though, you know.
No, that's done with now. We just lost the whole YouTube part. Hey, listen, I'll tell you what though. This doesn't sound crazy. I just had this thought right now. Master Splinter reminds me of your uncle. Right? Because he had the 4. He had way more than 4, but you could throw any name out there. And now that I'm saying it out after listening to the show that they did yesterday, I'm like, man, like that's kind of like your family. Like, and you could just supplement whoever you want in that 4. You could say the old generation to the new generation now. But I just think about it. I'm like, man, like your uncle is kind of like Master Splinter. I know like everyone says like Professor X and all that, but just thinking about that now, like, man, he's like,
he definitely was for us, especially like originally, like when everything got started, like it was always me, Travis, Askia, and James Garnett. Us 4 did everything. We were always at every demonstration, most demonstrations, and we were at just about most of the tournaments as kids growing up and as teenagers. So we definitely looked at him as Splinter to us, you know.
That's just that now.
Another thing that I never picked out until I was watching this movie, I just didn't understand. I understood why Splinter had an accent in the cartoon, but I don't understand why he has an accent in this movie. It doesn't matter. He's a rat. He never spoke before.
That's true.
He's a rat. He never spoke, so he should not. Once he learned how to speak English, he should have just been speaking like how we're speaking.
No,
you're gonna make me go back. I don't remember him having an accent ever.
He did.
You don't think the way he was speaking with an accent?
Yeah, he just spoke so softly.
He had a cadence.
I didn't hear you, Angel. What'd you say?
He had a cadence to the way he spoke. Like it was like an Asian Japanese cadence because that's where he was from. You're telling me if I put a talking thing on a German Shepherd, he's gonna speak English? No, he's probably gonna speak German.
But okay, so if a baby,
good, that's a good example. What?
Okay, exactly, a baby. I know people who are Asian, but they grew up in the city of Detroit, and their voice sounds like a black person. They don't sound like an Asian person. They sound black. I know people like that.
Okay,
because
I want to meet these people.
because you're around certain people. You're gonna speak like them. You know.
But from Japan. That's the whole point of what I'm saying.
But when he was in Japan, he was a rat. He never spoke.
He's what does that have to do?
Just like he learned Jiu-Jitsu, Gene. Come on.
No. There's no way Splinter should have had an accent. To me, he didn't start speaking until he was in the ooze, and then he started to
back to the States.
Yeah.
But this is the thing, though. He wasn't around. We all just realized he wasn't around anyone for him to gain an American accent. So if he was from Japan, he's still gonna speak like that with the same tone.
But he would have been speaking in Japanese. If you're going off of what you're saying, then he should have been speaking in Japanese then.
Watch TV.
Yeah, exactly.
But still,
I'm just nitpicking, man. You know, I gotta do my thing. I gotta do my thing for my people who be saying like, that I don't like movies. I'm just finding stuff to talk about. We just can't say this movie was good. Hey, we don't have shit else to talk about. You know, we got to find shit to talk about.
He didn't feel comfortable being on my side last week, so he said, "Nah, man, F that. I'm back on." last week when we both said a 15 out of 10, we both looked at each other like, "Wait a minute."
So anyway, Splinter is talking to them, letting them know they need to practice ninjutsu. He's basically saying like, even though you guys are teenagers, and I know you want to explore the world, you guys still, you have to be in the shadows. You can't expose yourself to everyone. That's pretty much what he was trying to tell the turtles. And he wanted them to meditate on the nice events. They start to do that. Raph wants to go to the movie, so he ends up leaving. He goes to the movies by himself. He had on his classic hat and trench coats. Like no one would. Obviously, these people they don't recognize. They don't realize. Disguise. Yeah, they don't realize that he's a turtle. Except for one person. One person does. Somebody who got a quick little glimpse noticed that he was a turtle, and I'll get into that in a second. He sees a couple guys. They try to steal a purse. He stops them. He shows them a side. They take off running into Central Park.
Why are you showing that side like it's a gun?
Yeah, he did. I was going to say, that was the most gangster way to show a side. He did, and he just smiled and he said,
"First off, how many people actually know what that is? I mean, seriously." He pointed to that like I got the piece on me. Yeah. Like, watch out.
And the guys jump the wall. They go into Central Park and they run into Casey Jones. What did you guys think of Casey? The character overall and or the actor who played Casey Jones?
I loved it. Honestly, I really like Casey Jones. I really did.
I've always liked Casey Jones, and I thought he was a good Casey Jones.
Yeah, I thought he played it well, and I thought his at that time his humor was good. Like he was the person that can give it back to Raph when he would get a little out of hand, because obviously as the movie went on, everyone walked on eggshells with Raph, but he never did. Like he kind of had like the same personality. I thought it was cool. I liked it.
A lot of times when I see movies and TV shows that are different from what I'm used to, I don't really care for how they switch things up. But with this, I didn't really mind because the Casey Jones in the movie was not like the Casey Jones in the cartoon. Casey Jones in the cartoon really didn't. He didn't gravitate toward Raph. He didn't even take the damn mask off. We never really saw his face in the original cartoon. I know later on in the newer ones he does.
Yeah, in the newer ones he did.
I like the guy who played Casey Jones. I like the actor. He did a good job portraying the role also. So Casey Jones and Raph, they have a little fight, getting to know each other. Once again, he had a good look at Raphael and was not scared of this.
He thought he was a punk. He said he was a punker with green makeup.
He's Casey Jones. He ain't afraid of nothing. He asked me, he said, "Have you ever played cricket?"
Man.
Hey, listen, I'll tell you what, though. I like that Casey Jones better than Kano in the new Mortal Kombat. I would say that right now.
Oh, wow.
I don't know if I go that far.
I know you
both pretty good.
I know you wouldn't go that far, please.
What are you talking? Wait.
I know you wouldn't. Please.
Kano was my favorite part of that whole movie.
Like I said, I know
and I'm mad at myself for it because Kano sucks.
I know you wouldn't because
Kano was great.
All week I just been getting tagged and shit for Cole to be destroyed. That's all I've been getting tagged in.
Yes.
So the fight that Casey and Raph has, they got some type of respect they had some type of respect for each other, because we'll see Casey Jones later on show back up to help Raphael. Now he hit him with a what do you call it? A cricket bat? Is that the name of it?
Cricket stick, bat, who knows?
I
Paddle?
don't know the exact name, but I know it's used for cricket. He hit the crap out of him, though.
Yeah, he did. And Raph jumped up and chased him. And as he's chasing him, he kind of rolls over a cab, right? And the guy in the back seat of the cab saw him. He was like, "What is that?" And the taxi driver was like, "Oh, that was a big turtle in a trench coat." I'm like, "Whoa!" Like nobody else realized that he's a turtle, but this guy got a quick half a second glimpse of Raph and realized it.
Well, people in New York are gangster apparently, because that's everyday life for them apparently.
You don't know about us. You don't know about us. We don't.
I'm just saying.
I'm gonna tell you right now. This is actually this is like a weird thing about me. I actually like watching older movies like that to see what New York was like back then, like just with the lights and Times Square and all that. Just because I think older movies like that, they really depict it really well. I think newer movies that try to depict like New York, they never do a good job. So it sounds crazy, but that is like a natural reaction. Like you see something weird, everyone's like, oh, okay. Because
wow, really?
No, yeah, no. When I tell you, like, if you were to see some of the stuff in New York, like just on the street, and it's not like people like trying to get a gimmick, like people just walking, you would be like, yeah, that's not uncommon.
I've never been to New York City. I want to go one day.
Me neither, but I would love to go.
For real though, if you guys go in the summer, you'll see what I'm talking about. It's just you see some really ridiculous stuff.
Okay. He doesn't catch up with Casey Jones, and then he eventually ends up going back home. And he goes back home. He has a talk with Splinter, and when they have this talk, I feel like the people who did the mask for the turtles, not only in this scene, like throughout the movie, they did a good job, because this is not CGI. This is people in costume, and they make these turtles when they're emotional or when they're happy, they look happy. You know, the way that they designed those costumes was a good ass job, because when Splinter is talking to Raphael, like his eyes are tearing up, he looks sad.
Weren't the costumes controlled? Weren't they half costumes and half puppet?
I thought there was some type of remote control that was in the headgear.
Yeah, that makes sense.
You know who would know this? Jeff Doss. You know what?
Of course he would.
Give me a second. I got you.
Jeff is probably going to send us a text message in the morning and saying, "Hey, such and such was in the movie. Y'all didn't talk about this guy that was in the movie. Y'all didn't talk about this guy. My bad, Jeff. You should have been on this show to tell us who was in these costumes, all the stuff, doubles and stuff. I know you know, my brother."
On the second one, Jeff is going to be on here, because you know what, man? Like, that one is sport karate riddled, and I don't want to be getting yelled at because I left someone out.
The only one I know in the second one is Ernie Reyes Jr.
I leave off someone's sport karate world titles, I'm going to get just shamed. So
now I do know Ernie Reyes was actually in this movie. He was
Michelangelo.
Donatello.
Was it Donatello? I thought it was Michelangelo.
It was Donatello. I looked at the
Donatello. For years I thought it was Michelangelo, but if it's not, that's cool.
And I think was Hosan Pak in this movie? I believe he was Raphael in this movie.
Let me just do my research. Give me a second.
Okay, no problem. Let me keep on going.
Go ahead.
Okay, but like I said, that was some good puppeteering that they were doing with that mask for Raphael. Next, we go to April's apartment, and she's talking to her boss, Charles. And Charles is pretty much a punk, in my opinion.
100%.
He's a punk. He wants April to chill out on talking about the police. Pretty much, that's pretty much what he wants.
I hate the way he talks. He just seemed like he was whining all the time, like April. He used to just get pissed, man.
He's that whiny boss type that's trying to keep everything in line.
Mm-hmm. Yeah. He has his son there with him, Danny, and he tells April Danny's been skipping school, so now I got to drive him there to make sure he goes.
he had the best reaction to. He had a good reaction to Raph also. Was it Raph or was it Michelangelo? Or was
when he saw him in the mirror?
Well, yeah, throughout like the whole entire apartment, he saw him because then it was like the shower and.
He saw Michelangelo in the mirror, and he turned around and Mike was gone. But I don't think he saw Donatello in the shower. April was in there with her boss at that time, but that was later on in the movie also. Next, we see the chief of police is having a news conference about the recent crime wave, and April is trying to get him to, use real words and not try and talk over everyone's head with talking about the issues going on with the Foot Clan.
They don't get along very well.
No, not at all. Not at all.
Because she's grilling him and he's not happy.
Yeah. And which is realistic. Both of those situations seem like a realistic thing that could happen. The Turtles are watching the news, and Raph sees her, and he knows, okay, she's at City Hall. Let me go there and get my side back. So he ends up leaving, and he ends up following her. And when she goes into the subway, she is surrounded by the Foot Clan. And I guess she's decided she's going to use that sai. For some reason, she still had the sai on her, Joe.
She wanted to know what it was all about. She thought she was going to protect herself.
Yeah, so she pulls out the sai and is going to protect herself. They knock it out of her hand and slap her around a little bit. And then Raph jumps out and pretty much beat those guys up and saves her. And he takes April
I think that's
back to the lair.
Probably one of my favorite parts of the whole movie. Because I think I remember I had a poster of that scene, that part where he does the split kick with the size down. I remember that my brother and myself had that poster for a long time, and I just love that. I love that whole part because he just comes out, rage of fury, and just bam, kicks everybody's butt. It's great.
And when he takes her back to I don't know what you call it, their headquarters, their lair, their
lair, I guess,
where they live, she is knocked out. So when she comes to, she sees all of the turtles, she sees Splinter, and then, like you said, man, she had the best reaction to see him. That's how anybody would have acted if they wake up and they open their eyes and they see some 5 foot tall turtles and a big rat, and they're talking to her. She had the best reaction when she saw them.
Okay. The Jeffopedia has spoken. In the first one.
So you called him.
I just got off a FaceTime with him. In the first one, Stephen Ho, Ernie Reyes. So you were right. Ho-San Pak and his brother were both in it. Okay. And he said
Young.
Yeah, he said for the second one, it's a bunch. But he also said Larry Lamb was a foot soldier, like a Foot Clan. So
I do remember that.
Yeah, so he said some people, and then we were talking, he said some people may have been in the first one, but he said a lot of the Foot Clan soldiers were like local martial artists, like whoever they could find and get around. He was telling me that. So boom, I got you there.
That is so crazy that you talked to him that fast and he gave you all the information off the top of his head that he didn't have to look nothing up.
That's why it's Jeffopedia.
For everyone to know, so that way we could so you guys really, really know. He texted. He said, "LOL." I texted him at 9:35. I said, "Call me right now," and I got a call at 9:40.
Yeah, and
he didn't look at nothing. He just he's looking. He's like, I think, this person and that person also. I'm like, yo, dude.
Man.
Zero wall. So I got you. He's right. He said you're right. Ernie Reyes was Donatello. Mm-hmm. He was never. I don't know where I got Michelangelo from. That was my fault. And then for the second one, he was himself, and they got someone else to play the Turtles.
I think Ho Young played him in the second one,
right? I think that's what he thought also.
Yeah, I think he played. I don't know who he played in the first one, but I think I'm almost positive Ho Young. Cause I remember seeing a picture of Ho Young and Ho-San in their Turtles costume without the heads on.
Okay.
So yeah.
Cool.
So-
Definitely, yeah, came in clutch, man.
So then as they're talking with April, they're giving her their origin story, and we find out that they were crawling around in some ooze, and all of a sudden they started to get bigger, and they decided, they ended up getting smarter, more intelligent, also. Based upon them and their contact with this green ooze. They briefly, kind of talk about it, but they didn't really go into detail because they saved all of that for the second movie when they go into a little bit more deep.
I kind of like the way they did that. I don't know about you guys, but like for that time period, no one was really doing like now origin stories are so big right now. So like back then, to see that like a lot of the movies we've been watching didn't have any origin stories, but they just kind of like put that little plot in there, that it was enough for back then for you to just get the gist and you can still follow the movie. I actually really like that, to be honest with you. I thought it was cool. And I like how they kind of showed them growing up, because if not, you would be sitting there wondering like, man, like, how did they learn ninjutsu? Like, how do they do this? So I thought that was cool.
Yeah, it was pretty great.
Yeah.
So they ended up taking her back to her house, her apartment. And she invites them up. They hang out with her a little bit, and then they decide that they're going to go back home. They get back home. They see that the place has been torn apart and Splinter is missing. And then Ralph has a meltdown, which is understandable. And after that, they ended up going back to April's apartment and letting her know that Splinter was missing. And once again, man, they were showing like just the creativity of how those turtles, those heads look. Like those guys, they look sad. You couldn't help but feel bad for them, when they showed that scene.
I thought it was crazy. They were just in the hallway.
They weren't they? Like anybody could have just opened the door like, oh shit.
No trench coats or nothing.
Like they were just in the hallway with the weapons out, just sad. That threw me off. I was like, man, what's going on here? Yeah, now it makes me realize they're just in the hallway. That's all.
I never thought about it, man. I never thought about it. It just never hit me like that. All right, you got anything to say, Joe?
No, I like the hallway thing though. That's pretty funny. Could you imagine like a deleted scene? Someone coming on, rollers in their hair or something.
In the next morning, April gets up, and that's when her boss comes back over, and basically he came over because his son was arrested. And when his son got arrested, the chief of police called him, and he pretty much said, like, look, get April off of my back, get her off of that Foot Clan story. So when he came over, he was kind of telling April to lay off the chief and leave the Foot Clan story alone. Of course, April does not want to listen. And then that's when Danny, he gets a glimpse of Michelangelo in the mirror. When he turns around, Mikey's not under the table anymore. He's looking around. So he knows he saw something. He just didn't know where he went, especially that quickly. And they ended up leaving. Charles is trying to talk to Danny in the car as he's taking him to school. Danny's really not trying to listen to him. And he just kind of jumps out the car and runs away from his dad. You guys got anything?
When I tell you, if I even dare open the door and thought about that, my dad would have beat my ass. And it's like not even like my dad would have chased me. He would have let me run. But I tell you, he probably would have hit me with a car coming on the other side of the alley. Oh my god! Because even now,
Charles was soft, man.
Yeah,
he was a millennial father before that was a thing.
Even now, to this day, sometimes I like tell my dad, I'm like, man, you better chill out. And he'll look at me. He's like, you may think you could run, but I'll just wait till you get back home. And I'm like, oh, okay. Well, I have to come back here, so I guess that makes sense. So yeah, it was that father actually got me mad, man. I wanted to be like, yo, man, just slap him right across the mouth. He'll cut all that. He'll cut it all. I promise you.
So when Danny gets out of the car and he runs to the Foot Clan's hangout, their headquarters, and we get our first glimpse of Shredder. He comes in.
Typical 90s style.
Oh yeah,
teenage hangout.
Yeah,
like we've seen so many movies like that now, 2 or 3 at least.
Double Dragon.
Typical
Double Dragon. That looks exactly like that play. That looks exactly like that.
I think they all use the same scene.
Yeah, probably.
They all use the same studio.
I'm telling you, just change it up a little bit. Some lighting over here.
That one looked the best. That one looked fun.
That one did look a lot of fun.
They had a skating ramp, an arcade, a basketball court. They had everything there. I was like, man, I might go join. I'm gonna be honest with y'all. I'm not gonna lie. One time my mom got me mad. I started crying. I told her I'm gonna leave and go join the Foot Clan.
That does not shock me. That does not shock me one bit.
Really doesn't.
And her response to me was, "I already packed your bag." I started.
Did your mom know what the Foot Clan was?
Because she's the one who showed me Ninja Turtles. So she was like, I was doing something. I probably wasn't eating my food, and I was like, I'll go join the Foot Clan. I was like, oh, never mind.
Oh.
Yeah.
So at this hangout, we see Splinter. He is chained up against a fence. Man, they really made him seem old, didn't they?
I felt bad for him. I felt like it was like watching my abuelo get like chained up and beat up. It just made me feel bad.
What did you just say?
My abuelo,
grandfather,
my granddad, like how Travis would say, granddaddy. Well, granddaddy.
I never heard that term before. I was trying to get you to say it again so I can hear it and understand what you're saying.
It's called abuelo. For me, I don't say the whole word, so I just say huelo or huela. That just means girl or boy. So,
gotcha.
Yeah.
So yeah, he was. But once again, like nobody is flipping out that it's a big ass rat with clothes on. Nobody's. They still playing basketball and riding their skateboards and everything.
Listen. Here's my biggest problem. Here's my only problem with this movie, as far as like, because I love the movie, but Splinter is the Miyagi from Karate Kid. He always has been. Yes, he's older, but even the Turtles together could never take him down. So a bunch of Foot Clan, I don't care if there was 10 or 12 of them, should not have been able to capture Splinter.
And the
12 people, Joe. Like that doesn't even seem like a realistic what you just said. 4 turtles, maybe, but 12 people.
I'm telling you, that would look at the comics, watch the cartoons. Splinter is the Miyagi. He just beats everyone up, man.
There's 12 people. Like that's triple than what the Turtles are. That's 12.
Listen, Foot Clan to me are like Power Ranger putties. Okay, I don't care if there's 100 of them. You can destroy them with one flick of your finger.
Right.
I'll tell you what. When I used to watch the Power Ranger putties, I used to always wish someone would do that so I could kick them in the little circle and I go watch them take them apart.
But yeah, so Shredder tells the Foot Clan that I guess there are certain times when he allows some of those boys to become members of the Foot Clan, because he said that he wanted all of them to be members of the Foot, and we saw some of them just hanging out, some of them were training, some of them were playing, but then he tells them that they have a new enemy and they want to find the turtles. Now, I always wondered, like, what was he going to do when he got the turtles? Like, did he just want to kill them? Did he want to find out what mutated them?
I feel like because of the second one, that's what he wanted. Like, he wanted to know what mutated them, or he already knew, or he wanted their DNA or whatever. Like in the first and the newest one. The newest one that came out, they did that better this time. Like they really showed like what Shredder wanted. But to me, I feel like he wanted to kill him. Just like
I thought he wanted to destroy them.
Yeah, well, just like how dark the movie is, it just seemed like he just wanted to kill him. That's what I thought. I don't know.
Yeah, I don't know. I mean, they never really said what he wanted.
They never said it that well.
Well, unlike the comics and the show, Shredder didn't know about the turtles until they were messing with his plan.
Mm-hmm. Mm-hmm.
I thought you were saying messing with his sister.
What are those turtles doing?
Oh, I was going to say messing with his sister. I was going to say, damn, I didn't even know that was even part of it. Was that in the comic?
Don't mess with his sister, man. What would even be her name? Justine? I don't know.
I'm going to tell y'all a joke when we get off.
Can opener?
So, back at April's apartment, the Turtles are watching April again. She's back on the news, and she's talking about the Foot Clan again. She did not listen to what her boss said, and she goes back on, and she's talking about the Foot. And, Raphael wants to go out and find Splinter. Leonardo wants to wait for April to come back before they all go out to do anything. Raphael gets upset, and he kind of walks out the apartment and leaves. Casey Jones is not far because Raph goes up on the roof and he's walking around. Casey Jones sees Raphael up there. April comes back and she's talking to the Turtles, and she decides that she's going to give them a tour of the rest of the building. So her father used to own the building that she was living in, and it was an antique store downstairs. And she takes them downstairs. They look around. Meanwhile, on the roof, Raphael is fighting. The Foot Clan have shown up. The reason the Foot Clan shown up is because when Shredder was talking to the Foot Clan at the hideout, Danny raised his hand, and we assumed that he was going to say, "I know where they're at," because they showed up at April's apartment.
I got upset about that because I was like, "How are you showing this antique shop and no one even hears?" Because he was like fighting them, like it wasn't like he was slapped. Like it was like he like threw him through like a table. I was like, "Is no one like?" And then they get there and they're like, "Oh, Raph." I'm like, "What? What are you talking about?" Like,
well, the way he get there, he fell through.
No, he got like, yo. Again, this is why I say, how are you gonna tell me that 12 Foot Clan could not get Splinter? Hey guys,
listen, man, I'm not saying it's right. I'm just saying by Ninja Turtle and Karate Kid logic, Mr. Miyagi and Splinter are godlike.
And Mr. Miyagi did beat up Cobra Kai.
Just saying.
Let's not put Cobra Kai on the same level of the Foot Clan. John Kreese would not last 1 minute in there.
As a Foot Clan member?
He would not laugh.
John Kreese would be Shredder. Come on now.
No, Shredder would kill him. No, Shredder's general would have took him out. I always loved the general of the Foot Clan.
Tatsu? Was his
Tatsu's great. Tatsu, yeah.
He was dope. I liked him.
All he did was grunt and look mean. That's all
he
did.
That's the best part. That's the best part. I love Tatsu.
But like you were saying, Angel, I don't think they heard, because when she took him down to the antique store, that was downstairs, and Raph was on the roof.
Yeah, but dude, man, he was banging though.
They were
like banging.
They were, but as soon as they walked back into the apartment, that's when they threw Raphael through the skylight, and he comes crashing down. And that's when all hell breaks loose. All of the Turtles are fighting the Foot Clan.
In case someone saw him from like across like another roof. I don't know what he was doing.
Yeah. He was listening to the like a scanner, like police scanner. That's what I took. He was listening to a police scanner so he can interfere in some crimes.
That's like typical New York, man.
Really?
Like, no joke. Like, I can see someone doing that because they want to be a vigilante. Oh god.
So when Raph he comes through the skylight, the Turtles fight. One of my favorite scenes is the nunchuck battle between Michelangelo and one of the Foot Clan soldiers. I like that.
That was dope.
I always enjoy that one. I enjoyed that in the second one too.
I think that's what made me like Michelangelo. Like I like Michelangelo because I'm just as goofy as he is, like naturally. But like I always thought like that right there was always like the dopest scene to me.
Yeah.
That really was.
So they're fighting, and more Foot Clan are just constantly coming into this apartment. They end up falling through the floor, and they're just destroying this apartment and destroying the antique shop. They're fighting down there, and when Tatsu comes with even more Foot Clan soldiers, and then eventually Casey Jones comes in to help also, and now he's helping fight. Go ahead, Angel. Looks like you have something to say.
Yeah, I just don't understand. Like he literally brought like the whole entire compound, and not one tenant said anything. Literally, because it was like 50 people at once, like just ran, like it was nuts, like how many people he brought in there, and not one person said anything. And
they were all at work.
And then like once the fire started, it looked like it went from daytime to like nighttime. I don't understand how long they were fighting for.
They did do that.
Like Raph got thrown through there at like maybe 1 p.m. at night, which is why I say no one was getting back from work. No one said, "Damn, why is my building on fire?" This makes sense.
They went out to dinner.
So they ended up fighting. They ended up escaping for some reason. Like I don't even understand. It was so many foot soldiers. They should not have been able to get out and run away. Even doing so, because April got on the news and criticized the police again, she ends up losing her job. Her boss calls and leaves a message on the answer machine, something that will not happen in this day and age. That would have just been a voicemail on her phone. You know, there's no such thing as answer machine. At least I don't think there's answer machines anymore.
Well,
it's a relic.
My house is old, so we still have a house phone, but that answer machine is old school, and that answer machine was getting set on fire as she was getting fired.
Yeah.
Right. You like that.
The best part is that Casey Jones is the only one that heard it.
Yeah.
Yeah. Because they end up leaving. They end up going up to this farmhouse that April has, her family has, and then Casey ends up telling her that she lost her job because she was about to walk 4 miles to the nearest neighbor. And he kind of made a joke that I just saved you an 8-mile trip. You were fired. She didn't like that at all. So on this farm, there are the turtles are all doing different things. Leonardo's looking after Raphael, Michelangelo. They didn't really talk about what he was doing. They did show us real quick. He was boxing and he was hitting a punching bag. Donatello was getting closer with Casey Jones. Eventually, Raphael wakes up, and all of the turtles start training again with each other. Leonardo does some meditation, and he has a vision of Splinter. Now, when they do that, I didn't really care for that part too much.
Why? That was
come on. Meditation is a powerful thing, Gene.
Mm-hmm. Yeah, okay. Anyway, meditation most definitely is, man. But like, I don't care how hard you meditate, Joe, man. You're not about to summon me over to your house.
Listen, Gene. Listen, Gene. Okay.
Go ahead.
Here they are. They're on the farm. Okay. They probably found some mushrooms or some edibles or something. You pop a couple of those, you meditate, you're thinking real hard about your sensei, and he's gonna appear and he's gonna show up and he's gonna guide you.
Hey, if I'm correct, they did that at night with the fire. That's what gave them the summoning powers.
Well, Leonardo did that, but he was just by himself, and he was thinking about Splinter, and then Splinter somehow heard him and spoke. But this time, Splinter showed up with a whole conversation for all of the turtles. He was real inspirational. I didn't really care for that, just that part, because I was just like, that's a little too ridiculous.
It's not too ridiculous. What? It's more ridiculous than a walking turtle that can fight?
They explain that. They explained that. They said that they were in the ooze, my guy. They were, and they got bigger. They were talking. They were in the ooze. Now all of a sudden they have Jedi powers. No, man, they can't do that. They can't do that. No,
Hey,
I'm not feeling that.
A walk and fight, nah, man.
Nah. I'm not rolling with that one.
Okay.
Nah, I'm not rolling with that one. So anyway, after they end up having their conversation with Splinter, it's so messed up. If Splinter gonna have this conversation with him, he should have told him where his ass was. That's what he should have did. That's what he should have did. But no, I guess he's like, come find me.
You're not wrong, G. You're not wrong.
Anyway, they end up coming back to New York, and they end up going back to their sewer house. When they go down there, Danny is there. He's been hiding out. He's been keeping his distance from the Foot Clan and his dad. So he's just been hiding out down there. Don't know how he found that place. They never really explained that. Now, one part I did miss was Splinter, for some reason, decided to talk to Danny. Shredder had been trying to talk to Splinter, and he wouldn't say anything at all.
But he talked to Danny because Danny was always going and talking to Splinter. So Danny built up kind of like a friendship with Splinter. Did you see that part? So I feel like Shredder kind of knew, or maybe Tatu saw him, and someone must have saw something and said it. So he probably figured that's how I'm gonna get to Splinter, through Danny. You get what I'm trying to say?
No,
I'm not making.
No, I'm not getting it.
So like if Danny is, so obviously Danny wasn't freaked out by Splinter. Mm-hmm. He was talking to him almost kind of like Splinter kind of used whatever you want to call it, a Jedi mind trick, ninjutsu mind trick, and kind of like put him under his wing and was like changing his perception on what the Foot Clan was.
The only reason I say that is because, from Splinter's point of view, Danny was a member of the Foot Clan. So if he wasn't talking to Shredder or anybody else, obviously he hadn't talked to anybody. Well, at least I don't think he had spoken to anybody else. Like, why did he? I just don't understand why he decided to talk to Danny.
Well, it's like anything. If you see a kid that's hanging around with a rough crowd, but you know that kid doesn't belong there, you're gonna try and talk to him and convince him otherwise.
I would have scared the shit out of him, honestly. That's what I would have did. Like, you let me go, I'm going to eat you. Let me out. That's what I would have did. That's what I would have did. Guess what? Daddy probably would have believed him.
You know what? That's so funny because the Splinter in the newer movies, the Michael Bay Splinter, is a lot different from the other Splinter.
Yeah, he is.
And I feel like he would do something like that. Because he's mean. Hilarious. He's just mean.
Mm-hmm.
Let me go, I'll eat you.
Right. It got me all hung up, That's your ass. As soon as I get out, that's your ass, Daddy. You better get the key and unlock me right now. You the first one I'm coming after. I'm coming after you. I'm going to put some hot sauce on you and I'm going to tear that ass up. And Daddy would have ran, got the key. He would have came back. He would have unlocked him like, get the hell out of here. Come on, let's go. I know I would have. If I would have seen a monster and he told me to go get him out, I would have got him out. For real. Anyway, I don't care. I don't care if I would have had to get a chainsaw. I would have cut Splinter's ass free. He would have got out. Like, come on, man. Just go. Just don't eat me. If you want to eat the rest of these motherfuckers, go eat them. But don't touch me. I even get you some bread to go with them. That's what I would have did if I was Danny. But we're going to move forward.
We get some hot sauce.
Oh, my bad, man. I just kind of went off a little bit. My bad. Anyway, when they get back home, they see Daddy down there.
Oh,
that's probably why Danny was scared. He was hiding in the closet. He was scared Splinter was gonna come in there and eat his ass. That's what happened. All right, let's wrap this shit up. Come on, let's go. Angel, compose yourself, my guy. Compose yourself. Y'all should see Angel. He came. He can't talk. He can't say nothing. He's literally crying right now on the podcast. Angel has tears in his eyes right now. All right. Anyway. So they're talking. They're figuring out what it is that they're going to do. Casey decides he's not going to sleep down in the sewer. He's going to sleep in the truck. Everyone else is talking, and eventually they all go to sleep. Danny decides that he's going to get up and leave. We don't know what he was going to do. He ends up taking a picture from April. April drew pictures of the turtles. He wanted one for himself. He went back to the Foot Clan. When he went back and he saw Splinter. He's talking to Splinter, and Shredder shows up. Now, Shredder had been looking for Danny. Danny had been missing for a while, so he wanted to know where he was at. Shredder finds out that he has a picture of the turtles, and he knows that the turtles have come back to New York, so they're about to go get the turtles. Now, when Casey left, when Danny left, he was followed by Casey Jones. And so now Casey knows where the Foot Clan's hideout is. I kind of like how what they did with Casey Jones. They didn't make him like the super duper hero. Like, it was still all about the turtles. Yeah, and I like that. And I didn't really think that was the case with the newer movie that had Casey Jones in it.
Yeah, I think the newer movies, because they got a bigger star to play Casey Jones and Stephen Amell, I think they tried to highlight him with the turtles instead of the turtles and him.
Mm-hmm. So Casey ends up helping Danny rescue Splinter. They get him free. Some of the other guys who were not quite Foot Clan members just yet, they tried to stop him, but Splinter ends up talking to them, and they let them leave. Meanwhile, the turtles are kicking, but they're beating up the foot soldiers left and right. The foot soldiers are starting to run away from them. They run out of the sewers. The turtles follow them. They beat them up on the streets also. And then they eventually climb up on top of a roof, and there is Shredder. And the turtles are no match for Shredder. No matter what they do, they can't take Shredder down at all. Anything before I get to the finale? You guys got anything to say?
Yeah, how'd they know Shredder was up on the roof?
I don't think they did. I think the foot soldiers were just scattering all over the place. I think they were following them and they were climbing up, because Shredder came jumping down from somewhere. I don't know, because he just came gliding down into the shots, and he was just standing there.
He was skydiving?
Huh?
He was skydiving?
Kind of. In slow motion too. He kind of came down in slow motion.
That made no sense. He had on like a lot of metal, and that helmet looked like it weighed 30 pounds.
Right. So the turtles, they realized that that was funny. The line that Michelangelo had when he said, exactly what point did we lose control here? That was pretty funny when he said that, because they were just getting beat up. Eventually, Shredder gets Leonardo, and he's about to just kill him, and Splinter shows up, and he's standing there on the edge of the roof, and he tells Shredder he knows who he is, and he knows that Shredder actually killed his old owner. And I kind of missed over that earlier in the podcast. They have history. Shredder killed Splinter's owner and his wife, and his cage got knocked over. He jumped out. He jumped on Shredder's face, scratched him up, clawed him up a little bit. So he still had the scarring on his face. So when he realized who Splinter was, he took his mask off, and he figured that he was just going to end Splinter. I just don't understand, like, why didn't he do Splinter like he did the turtles? He let the turtles come to him, but with Splinter, he was going to go right after him.
He was mad. He showed him that messed up part of his face from Splinter, and he was like, "Oh, I'm gonna get you this time more than your ear."
Yeah, so he charges at him with like a spear almost, and Splinter kind of turns it around, uses Michelangelo's nunchucks, grabs the spear, flips him around, and now he has Shredder in a messed up situation. Shredder does not care. There was a knife at Splinter. Splinter moves to the side, catches a knife, let goes of the spear, and Shredder goes falling down into the garbage can. Casey Jones flipped the switch. Garbage truck. I'm sorry.
Accidentally flipped the switch.
Yeah, exactly. And it kind of smashes Shredder. All we really see is the helmet get smashed. Once I saw that, I knew, okay, he's not really gone. He's not dead. They showed was his helmet getting smashed. And that's pretty much the end of the movie. The Turtles celebrate. Casey and April are celebrating on the ground, and everybody's having a good night. Turtle power. That comes on. All right, and that's the end of the movie. You guys have anything to say about Teenage Mutant Ninja Turtles?
What grade would you guys give it? I mean, I'm actually interested to see what grade you guys. I want to see if we're all around the same.
I would give it I'd give it an A-. It was a good movie. Like I said, like at first, like when I was a kid, when I saw this movie, only part I really didn't really care for or didn't really understand was the Raphael part, like how his character switched. But everything else, man, they all acted like how they did, kind of like in the cartoon. So,
yeah, I give it an A. I mean, to me, like I was trying to think. I hadn't watched this movie in a while, and I wanted to see like could it stand, the test of time. Mm-hmm. And I mean, I watched this movie like it was like I had watched it yesterday. It was great. I loved it. It's a great movie.
What about you?
Yeah, for me, it was an A-, B+. The only reason why I would even give it that was just because I wanted to see more Splinter doing. I want to see Splinter do more. I just feel like maybe me, just because like, and honestly, I kind of looked at it in the same sense of like Miyagi, like how Miyagi, he did something at certain times. I just want to see Splinter kind of do that. So the fact that he did it just threw me off.
I think the reason why they didn't have Splinter do with the Turtles, it was obviously people in costumes, but I don't think Splinter was. I think Splinter was a puppet.
Yeah,
I think he's a puppet.
Okay, that makes perfect sense then. I obviously for the new one, it's easy to make Splinter do something.
Yeah, because he's CGI. So in the newer ones, they had him do stuff.
Yeah, so like I know that's easy, and that's not the reason why I wanted to see him do something. I always said I always wanted to see Splinter fight. I wanted to see him take out Foot Clan soldiers and let's see if he could do it. So that was always just me, but yeah.
All right,
that was good. I actually did not think you were gonna give it that high of a grade, Gene.
What did you give it?
I said A-, B+.
Okay.
If to me, honestly, like, I really love the movie. For me, the second one's my favorite. That's like my favorite one.
Me too.
Like and not because of Ernie Reyes. Honestly, just because that one to me is more. I would say more karate based. I feel like this was karate based, but like how we've been talking about how every karate movie they don't have a good storyline. This had a great storyline. So because it has such a good storyline, we didn't see too much karate. I know for the second one, you see way more karate. The storyline wasn't really that good. But the karate, though, in the second one was like top notch. I liked it.
And in both of these movies, in the first one and the second one, we all used to look for different drills and different techniques that they were doing. And we would apply them to our demonstration or our one steps. That's how we use those different things.
No, it's honestly it's crazy because that's what I do now, and that's what I told you guys when I watch karate now. That's what I do, and even like especially with the second one, you could find real good skills with that.
Yeah, 100%.
Really good.
All right, so you guys got any closing remarks for this movie?
No, it was good, man. Like I actually enjoyed watching it. It really brought me back to like my childhood. I really did enjoy it.
What are we watching next, Angel?
To Teenage Mutant Ninja Turtles 2.
Okay, so we sticking with it. Okay, yeah. I know you had a thing that you wanted to do, so I didn't know if that was still.
We're gonna go all the way up to 3. The reason why I would do the 4th one, I honestly don't know if we can all even get that though, because like it's so hard to find. If I could find it like this week, I'll send it to you guys. But if it's so hard to find that one, to be
even if you just send me the name, I'll find it.
Okay, I got you, man.
All right, well, cool. You guys got any closing remarks before I wrap up the show?
Make sure you guys check out CTE. That was a great show that they did. I don't know if you guys heard it yet. It was awesome.
I will at work.
Yeah, for me, I'm invested, so I got my boys on there, so that was awesome to hear them. And then just inside scoop on Thursday. Make sure we listen.
Do they have a guest? Do they have Alex and Jeff have a guest tomorrow? I'm not sure. I can't remember.
I don't remember if they do.
Okay.
I think they might. If not, but no. But to be honest with you, also check them out on Facebook because they're gonna go Facebook.
Yeah. Okay.
Yeah, that's how they're doing them all now.
Yeah. Anything, Joe? Any closing remarks?
Turtle power.
All right. So that's it for this week of Fist Kicks and Flicks. Make sure that you check out CTE, like Angel said, and also Inside Scoop with Alex and Jeff tomorrow. Make sure you guys return to listen to us. We're going to review Teenage Mutant Ninja Turtles 2 Secret of the Ooze. That should be another fun movie. Mm-hmm. Make sure that you like and subscribe. Help us get to 250 so we can have Fist Kicks and Flicks with drinks. And make sure you check out my boy Blizzard. He does the music for our intro and outro of this podcast. You can check him out on Instagram at I am Blizzard. And if we don't have anything else to say, you guys stay safe, stay strong, and we'll holler at you guys next week. Director, play my music.
Disaster must come. At best, only postponed. Shaolin Kung Fu to survive must now be taught to more young men.